NSA, National Safety Associates, one of those companies that entered the industry in the 1980s, has impacted the industry in a significant way. NSA taught us this very, very, very important lesson. They taught that the product must be consumable. Let me ask you this question. How many water filters did you buy last month? Well, probably none, but if you did buy one last month, how many more would you want to buy this month? The answer clearly and obviously is none. Let me ask you another question. Did you buy a bottle of juice last month? Any kind of juice? Did you drink it? Is it all gone? Would it make sense then to buy another one because the first one's gone? That's the way that our business model works. If the first one's all gone, then it's logical and natural and it seems appropriate to buy another. It's not about the compensation plan, it's because the first one is all gone. The more highly consumable a product, the more perfect it is for the network marketing industry. Well, we can look at this history of network marketing and we can contemplate the evolution in a few ways. We can contemplate the fact that there is now a playing field, and we know specifically and exactly what the rules are. We can look at this evolution in light of the fact that the industry has existed since 1903 and has existed in earnest since 1959. We can look at the evolution of the industry in the respect that there have now been a host of companies that have existed for 20 years and beyond. See, the industry is no longer in question. That's what I want you to understand. 20 years ago, when I got involved, the industry itself was to a degree still in question. There were only a couple of companies that had existed for 10 or 15 years. Very, very few. Today, the industry itself is not in question. I don't believe that that's really public knowledge. I don't think people generally understand that. But the industry itself is not in question. Companies like Amway, Shackley, Herbalife, Melaleuca, Nu Skin, NSA, there are so many that have been around now since the early 80s that have done and continue to do hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars in annual revenue. The industry is simply no longer in question. The next thing we can identify is the fact that there have been multiple instances now of companies having a series of seasons of growth. There are not just flashpoints in time when a company has a fad period where it grows dramatically. A well-constructed, well-managed company that has the elements truly in place for success, these have shown an ability to have multiple S-curves. That's very important to me because I have a long-term one. This for me, by the way, in case you haven't asked me because you can't talk to me, but this for me is the culminating point of my career. I feel that I've worked my entire life to be prepared for this moment with Monavie. Here I find the absolute finest combination of factors that has ever existed. We can identify the fact that those companies that have had the greatest long-term success have been those where there has been external conventional business price pressure to the upside, thus allowing for compensation plan stability. We can identify the fact that the industry has now been embraced globally, where when I first got involved in the industry, it was almost exclusively a USA-based business. And we can learn further. We can learn even more from this evolution in network marketing because we can contemplate compensation plan design. When the industry was born, the industry allowed simply a buying and selling a product, direct selling, that then metamorphosis took place, and the industry then became a multi-level marketing industry, first with a 2-level payout, and then 3, and then with Nu Skin it became 6. Compensation has itself evolved in dramatic fashion, with the realization that leadership is scarce. There's not enough leadership to go around. And the continued effort of the industry, of the best and brightest minds in the industry, has been to find ways to connect true leadership together. That's the fundamental task, is to connect true leadership together. I believe that the Monavie compensation plan is the best combination thus far. There are intricacies in the Monavie compensation plan that make that combination of outcomes more readily available than what I think is generally available in the industry. Well, as I've stated so many times, I am an advocate for the entire network marketing industry. And I am absolutely convinced that within the industry there are a host of good companies. And I am convinced that there are so many people whose lives can be blessed by finding homes in a variety of companies in the industry. The Monavie meets the test of the evolution. Meets the test of the evolution in the following ways. The product is not just a great product for consumption. The product is a perfect product for our industry. My simple invitation to you is consume a bottle. Just drink a bottle. And after you drink the first bottle, if you don't want a second, for heaven's sakes, don't do our business. But after you drink the first bottle, if you want the second, you just proved our business. That's the first reason the Monavie product passes the test of this evolution of network marketing. Second is because it is so highly consumable. It is so easy to understand. I don't have to teach anybody how to drink juice. Everyone seems to understand it. The evolution of the industry has further shown that the more complicated the product, the less likelihood there is of success. If one needs to explain all the reasons that the product is great, you know what? It's a hard business. If one needs to convince one to consume it because the consuming experience itself is not positive, it's a very hard business. But if when you have your first glass of juice, you want the second, boy, that went a long ways. I believe that Monavie passes this test when one studies the evolution from a product standpoint. And in fact, my belief of that is evidenced by the success that has already occurred. You know, what has already happened shows that. It's not, it takes no brilliance to see that Monavie has passed that test from a product standpoint. The second place where Monavie measures up well against this evolution of the industry is in management. Trying to marry true entrepreneurship with professional management is extraordinarily difficult. And I will tell you that Dallin Larson, Randy Larson, and Henry Marsh have done an absolutely brilliant job in the assembly of this group of professionals who operate and manage Monavie domestically and globally. They have done an absolutely beautiful job of marrying entrepreneurship and professionalism. One of the evidences of this, if one studies the past of the industry, one thing that becomes crystal clear is that this marriage of entrepreneurship and professionalism is difficult. It's a hard marriage to make. It's a hard marriage to have survived, and I love the chemistry at Monavie. If one looks at the history of this industry, one can identify with clarity the fact that Monavie now finds itself poised to begin a second explosive S-curve. I believe that there is an air of inevitability about Monavie. What the company has done domestically has caused people literally all over the world to say, what about Monavie? What about Monavie? What about Monavie? Literally all over the world, people are clamoring for this company. As we speak, literally today as we speak, as the industry has gone through an evolution, Monavie is going through an evolution. It will become a stunningly successful multinational network marketing company. The only component that is yet missing is local leadership. Therein lies your opportunity and mine to find, to create, to become that leadership. I believe that the Monavie compensation plan fully harvests the value of all of the knowledge that has been gained over the last 50-plus years in this industry. I believe it fully harvests the value, takes full use, takes the full measure of currently available technology, and more correctly provokes activity and behavior and distributes income than that which is available elsewhere. I guess you can see where I stand. I believe that the industry of network marketing is absolutely a thing of beauty, and I believe that your life can be blessed by being in it. I think that your decision to get involved in Monavie would be a beautiful decision. It would be a correct decision, and I so strongly personally encourage you to make that decision. Now let's go back and contemplate what gets us here. I get here as a continuing evolution of my own career. I'm hoping so much that you're ready for your own career to evolve just a little bit. Perhaps it needs to evolve a lot. This is a magic moment if you choose to make it so for you. And then what gets you here at the very outset? Well, either you're involved in step 5. Step 5 being what? Step 5 being to build belief in the network marketing industry. I want you to know that I believe, in my heart of hearts, from the center of my being, that the fundamental principles which govern network marketing are superior to those principles which govern conventional business. I further believe that Monavie is the absolute finest iteration of those principles. If you are here to build your own belief, I congratulate you, I commend you, and I look forward to our association. I look forward to being with you in person as opposed to simply on this DVD. And if you are one who was in the audience when the presenter said, is there someone here who is insecure about this industry? I hope so much that I've been able to address some concern that you may have felt. I hope so much that any identifiable concern you had has been overcome. And I hope that maybe some unquantifiable concerns have been addressed. The fundamental principles which govern network marketing are superior to those which govern conventional business. And I feel so fortunate and so blessed to have become a part of the industry 20 years ago. I feel so fortunate and so blessed to have become a part of Monavie in 2008. And I feel so fortunate and so blessed to have been asked to take on this new role of International Distributor Ambassador in 2009. And I hope that that combination of factors brings us into association. I wish you the very, very best.